Oh, also, do you have my YouTube channel link?
I can get that from you. I know it's in your profile, yeah.
Because you can watch it and look at the comments from your phone, I believe. Doot, 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 doot. It's been a while since I did this. I don't remember how to do it. Okay, YouTube. It should let me see the comments
Crust.
because I want to keep the zoom up, but then also be able to see the comments. There we go. Okay. Yeah, see.
Awesome.
Let me send you the link. And I don't want to be able to hear myself twice. Hello, everybody. Sorry, we're setting up here. We will get started shortly. Try to send it to you. Hi, Alexis. All right, share. I'll send it to your text, your phone. It'll be easier. There. That way, if you want to see the comments, you can.
Awesome.
There. Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode ever of the Feral Witch podcast. And I'm going to be interviewing Elizabeth from Coffee Cups Tarot. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's sunny out. I'm happy.
Yay.
Yes. Yeah, I live in Maine and it is a lot of the times it's very this time of year it's overcast and rainy or snowing. So sunny days I'm just like and when 30 or 35 degrees hits, I'm like outside in the sun. So, 'cause it's
Oh.
warm to me. Yeah, I know. But so I really wanted to know like how did this all start for you? Like working with deities, working with the infernal, which is the most feral witch thing ever, right?
Yeah,
Working with
and
the
I
demons.
think because there is such a stigma about working with the infernal divine. I unfortunately fell into religion and was a religious person for a good number of years. I had family influence in that, so, sometimes when you have family, you kind of feel pressured into that type of system. And
Oh yeah.
I knew kind of towards the end of my time in that system, around 2016, I knew something was wrong. Like I felt like I don't feel aligned with what's happening, in the belief system anymore. And I would find myself literally like leaving religious services crying or angry. And so I had to make that decision, like I have to leave this system. And we know that when you make a big transition, when you leave a system that you've known for like a decade or more, that it's almost like you want help leaving, but sometimes a lot of people don't have that help or we don't perceive that help. And I have always been a person who reads tarot cards. And so that was the first thing I returned to. I returned to my comfort blanket, tarot. And then I started meditating. It was through meditation that I ended up meeting Lord Lucifer. And I kind of like to say that he and a couple of other ones, they are sort of the doorkeepers. Once you meet them, the door flies wide open and you start meeting all of them.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
that's kind of how it started for me.
Oh, okay. So you say you fell into religion. Was that so you weren't raised in religion?
Well, I have like on both sides of my family, like my mom's side of the family is very Jewish and dad's side of the family is very Christian. And my parents were in their own like new age kind of religious belief system. And I desperately wanted a place to belong and I wanted to feel a sense of belonging. And so when you're looking for belonging outside yourself, religion is a very convenient pull for many of us because it promises, oh, you'll feel belonging, you'll have a place to go once or twice a week, you'll be in groups, and it kind of, I don't want to say that it's seductive in that way, but I do feel like it kind of pulls people in,
It
even if,
does.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we all want community, we all want people. And yeah, the religious aspect is okay, there's people there and they support you most of the time, depending on your religion, honestly. But they're there, they support you. If you need a babysitter, you can always call someone from church. Yeah, I can totally see the draw in that. Like I've been in and out of church before because of that, because I had that when I was a teenager and I had that community, even though it was toxic, it
yeah,
was still like what I was used to. So like once in a while I'd go back to church if I was feeling lonely. Like I'd be like, oh, maybe this time it'll feel right. Yeah, it never did. So
yes,
I know
yes.
what you mean. Absolutely. Um, so I guess like how did you fall into working with like, like the infernal? Like that's a big
Yeah,
jump going from
yeah,
you're in church with these,
yeah,
old church ladies and
yeah,
from
yeah,
working with demons. Like
yeah.
how did you make that transition?
Yeah, I mean, I moved from my home state is California and I moved to Oregon. And once I moved to Oregon, I started being surrounded by different people who had religious trauma, people who were like, religion is not for me, and here's why. And I started listening to other people's stories. And that's when I was having that realization that this belief system that I was in was also not really working for me if I was honest. And when I let go of it, and I'm not saying it was like an overnight thing, it took several months of me admitting to myself, like, this is not working. And then when I returned to tarot and meditation, and I was trying to figure out, like, what kind of foundation am I building for myself? It was during one of my meditation sessions where I felt a shift in the room. And literally, I felt there was a presence in my living room, and I was like, oh no, who is this? What is happening?
Yeah.
And it was Lucifer, and he told me, like, you do know who I am. And I was like, no, I don't. That conversation went on for like 5 minutes of me saying, I don't know who you are, and him insisting, but you do. And at the time I was actually watching the television show Lucifer, because we
Oh
had
God.
because as
Yeah.
an evangelical, as someone who has been in a very strict toxic religion, we were not even allowed to watch shows like that. We were told, don't watch that, that'll influence you, right? So
No,
here I
open
was.
portals to hell.
Yeah,
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 I've heard it all.
yeah, but the reality being is that he used that show to kind of bring
Mhm.
me into working with deities, and understanding that there are deities outside of the one, or the that one way of thinking about deity. And I said to him, like, are you Satan? And he told me no. He was like, no, Satan and I are different beings. And everybody's pantheon and practice is different. Some people do experience them as the same being, so I don't want to take that from someone else. But from my experience, they are different. And it was like once I started working with him and kind of accepted, like, okay, here is this spirit who wants to work with me. And he kind of helped me to deconstruct because I had a lot of religious programming. And as he kind of helped me, then Azazel entered the picture. And I'd kind of joke that after that it was all over for me because they all started like introducing themselves. So
Yes, I love that. Like they're just lining up. They're like, us next, me next, me next. And then they
yeah.
work on like different aspects of you. Yeah, I
Yes.
experienced that as well. I
Yeah.
did. Yep. Yeah, Lucifer is fantastic. He is a great gatekeeper and opener for the other spirits. It's almost like he kind of directs it all. He's the director. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, Azazel, you step in for this issue. Over here, you step in for this issue. And it's like your work project almost. And he's like the manager. Yeah, it's totally like
Yeah.
that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I guess my next question would be well, you talked about like the sense of community and stuff. Have you found that sense of community like working with deities?
That's, Sarah, this is a very interesting question because I find that some parts of the witchcraft community and some parts of the demonolatry community are, I want to call them like kind of toxic fish bowls. Not all of it, but I find that the same problems that organized religion sometimes has also can be in these alternative spiritual spaces. And for me, it has been more about making individual connections, kind of like the way we happened to start chatting. And, I've met really wonderful people in the communities, but I haven't done like the whole I'm in a larger community kind of a feeling, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and in some ways, I don't think we're really, at least me, I don't think I'm meant for that. Like I start to feel uncomfortable in large communities because I'm like, oh, that person, is toxic in some way,
Mhm.
or they're affecting my energy in this way. So I like how I can gatekeep my own life and
Yes.
and to choose who I want to talk to rather than be in a community, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's like the hermit side of me, I suppose.
But
But
that
I get
hermit
that.
side is protective, because
Yeah.
in this path, we're learning how to protect our energy, to call back the parts of ourselves that we have more freely just given away because we felt, oh, it's expected of me to be social. When you're in a religious community, you're kind of expected to be for the community. And on this path, it's almost like we're learning to be in community, but not of community. In other words, we're learning to be of ourselves and participating in community as we choose, and learning to take back that choice is like a whole other big conversation and thing of its own, really.
Yeah, because I think it's been drilled in my head and probably yours too. Like communities need a leader. You need to blindly follow somebody, and that like keeps me completely. I don't want that. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want that at all. But
yeah,
then, but then connecting with people that you actually like and genuinely, you know, have things in common with when you want to. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that. And it's like a whole, that is a different way of looking at community. And with the way online and social media is, that's growing so much more. And I see it in Glow Up Grimoire, my group. Like there's like a community of witches and some days they show up, some days they don't. Like sometimes they disappear for like a month and then they come back, but it's their choice. They can choose to talk to people or not talk to people. They can choose to leave or stay. Like I love that about it. Um and yeah, it's like the new thing. It's like the new church kind of. Where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
less controlling and you can keep your own energy.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's especially important to do so because, I mean, I don't know about you, but early on in this path or practice, I remember going into the Discord of a gal who was like, I'll teach you guys how to work with the infernals. And she kind of made them seem like they're all Disney princes, just waiting for us to contact them and giving us this really false picture of their expectations and how they work with humans and not that some of them aren't, very loving or kind or generous, but kind of putting us into like this fantasy that she had created or a way that she works with them that doesn't work for everybody. And I think that, it can be dangerous to just kind of give over your agency to someone else just because you want to learn from them. But a good leader teaches people how to fish, right? Teaching other people how to learn about these things for themselves instead of like that girl, teaching dependency. So,
Oh my gosh, I
yeah.
absolutely agree. I've seen that before. You're right. I've seen that before, and I was just like, what are they talking about? Just kind of moving on. But I absolutely know what you mean. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So what is the infernal to you personally? Like, what do they mean to you personally?
They are incredible guides, teachers, and companions on this path. I mean, yes, it is my path and this incarnation is my life, but they are the guides, teachers, and companions that, you know, it's like a mutual choosing of walking together through this time on earth and this incarnation.
I love that. A mutual time together.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that sums it up for me as well. Like I really feel like that they're there to guide, but yeah, they're not fairy tale princes. They will smack you in the face. Like they don't they're like, bitch, shut up. Like they will do that. I remember I started out working with some pretty intense ones. And I know it's like some people are like, oh, let's work with the beginners first. I didn't do that. Like I went straight into working with Lucifuge and
Oh
Sex
boy.
and and yeah, Lucifer was one of the first ones too, but I think that he was gatekeeping in the way of, okay, these guys are what's best for you. You don't take subtle hints. We're gonna skip the beginners and just go right into the hard stuff like that because that's what worked for me. And it did work. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, So it's like everybody's path is different, and yeah, leaders should point out like maybe this isn't going to work for you. Maybe this spirit isn't for you. Yeah, they worked really well for other people. Like Azazel, for example, he can be really intense, but also loving, and he can help you with your career, but it might not be the best spirit to work with for you.
Right. Yeah, and I tell people not to, and especially with him, I tell people don't romanticize him because you may have a kind of rough experience. I mean, the first 30 days that Azazel was in my experience, I cried every day. And I know that sounds like an exaggeration and, oh, you're making that up. But honestly, he took apart every area of my life and pointed out this needs to go, this is faulty, this is built on a false premise, this needs to be changed. Like he literally just took apart each area of my life. And even still, he'll instill lessons that are really painful and challenging. He doesn't sugarcoat things. And whereas, like, I like to say that, like, Lucifer is the soft Venusian energy, and then, Azazel is like full Saturn for me. So I have like both of those sides of, input. So I'm not totally, everything's not totally harsh, but then it's not totally soft and gentle either. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Ah, yes. Um, Lucifer is definitely more loving and Azazel really he's not the Disney prince. He's not the one who will come save you. Like that is not the energy there. He is just like, okay, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this has to go. Like I know exactly what you mean. Working with him was some of the toughest times of my life because he was the first spirit that I ever made a pact with.
Oh.
And at the time, like when I was a beginner, I was learning a lot from EA Coetting because I would like watch
Mhm.
his stuff and he's like, oh yeah, if you want to advance your career and become self-employed, you go to work with Azazel. So I'm like, okay, I'll work with Azazel. And I learned real quick that it wasn't going to be about my business. It was, but it wasn't. Like
Right.
it was about me first.
Yeah.
And honestly, you are your business. Like when you're self-employed, you are your brand. So
Yes.
it makes sense to me now, like why he did that and why he pretty much tore apart my life along with Sekhmet. And yeah, during that time. But the crying every day thing, I completely relate to that. Like that was pretty much what happened to me. Only it was for like 6 months because I made a pact with him. I made a pact with him for 6 months. Yeah, it was what was
Wow.
it a year? I don't remember, but it was
Yeah.
rough because I was in a terrible relationship. I was working my ass off in this job that like, I was exhausted all the time. Like I look at pictures of myself back then and I look older than I do now because I was so tired all the time. I had a young child and the relationship that I was in, like I was doing everything.
Oh, wow.
Like looking back, I'm like, I was doing far more than my share of like the household chores and everything like that. So I was like on top of working. And so I'm like, wow, no wonder I was exhausted. But he came in and he's just like, oh, we don't like him. This has to go. You still have religious programming here. And then he just like, it all exploded. Like it makes me think of you ever seen that part in Labyrinth where she's like all
Yes.
it's falling down and it's like fall down like
Yeah.
that. That's what it was like.
Yeah.
And so I can completely relate to that. My gosh. So yeah, it sounds like our journey has been pretty close to
Yeah. I
almost the same. So
think we've
that's
had
it.
a lot of similarities. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Um, oh yeah, I want to talk to you about your channeling. So I stumbled upon your videos, and the thing that I love the most about them was your channeling videos. So, I mean, I like your talking ones too. I think they're really great and informative. But the channeling is what really struck me as, wow, that really is that spirit talking because it's like, what was a recent channeling that you did? I'm trying to remember now. Where's my phone? Oh yeah, right here. Uh, was it? Oh my gosh, who was it?
I mean, the most recent one I think I did was President Marbus.
Marvis?
Yeah.
I think it was the one before that. But it was just like I remember thinking, wow, he almost said that exact same thing to me. And I can't remember which spirit it was for some reason right now. But there were several like that where I'm just like, wow, that really sounds like him. So, because sometimes you hear channelers and they channel it through themselves, their ego.
Mhm.
You have to channel it through yourself, like eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
and then the message that they came up with, the message that eventually comes through is, what they write down. But it channels through you first and your
yes.
thoughts, feelings, and your experience and all of that. So it struck me as like, wow. So what is your technique or what was the word like what was
Process
your
or
your process? Yeah, what is your process for getting into a channeling state when you write those?
yeah, well, the first thing that I do is I try to wait. Like, I will sometimes even ask days in advance if someone would like to come forward to do a channeling.
Hmm.
And I will kind of wait and kind of see and feel the energy of like who's in my space, kind of what is, you know, it's really hard to explain because it is such an intangible thing, but I do feel their energies very differently. A lot of times for me, it has to do with their planetary associations and their elemental associations. So, like just taking President Marbus, for example, air and Mercury. And if I feel like, wow, I feel like some mercurial energy is in the air, that might be a sign to me that, an energy like himself or one of the other presidents is around. So I will like tune in and I will wait until I feel like they are telling me I have something to say. And then I will kind of sit down and kind of remove all distractions, no phones, no social media, no computer, no TV, like just literal either silence or like a frequency in the background, like 528 or 417, any of those types of frequencies and just kind of sit and kind of wait until I feel them come forward. And then it's a process of me getting out of the way. I mean, yes, of course, they're using me as a vessel. So, my cadence, my education level, whatever, any of the ways that I speak may come out in the way some of the messages are formed. But I am doing my best to get out of the way, to just write as I'm hearing it or feeling it, and just write it down. I have a notebook that is only for channeled messages, and that is the only notebook that those messages go into. I will sit down, I will listen to or tune into what they're saying, write it down, and afterwards I will translate it into like a social media post. But I kind of have this whole process of like sitting down and getting very quiet and having a dedicated space and dedicated tools in order to receive and record the messages.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So yeah, so you consciously try to get out of the way.
Yes.
I think that's something that a lot of channelers miss. Like,
Yeah.
like you're consciously be like, okay, I need to get out of the way. Where
Yes.
I've channeled in the past and that didn't even cross my mind. So I think that that is that is amazing. Like that's a great
Yeah.
tip. That's just like an important step that channelers are missing.
Yeah, and I feel like anyone can kind of train themselves, just like we train
Mhm.
ourselves in magic to like go into a different state or to channel energy into a spell or to channel energy into an energetic ritual. It kind of requires you to move into a different state, right? So with channeling, it's almost like picturing like you're in a, and I don't even drive, but I'm going to use a car metaphor here. Like let's say you want to go somewhere, so you're behind the steering wheel, but then your friend says, "Hey, I want to drive." So
Mhm.
you kind of get into the back seat or the passenger side, and then your friend gets into the driver's seat. You're still consciously there in the background, but you're not being the backseat driver going, "Hey, can you use your brakes more often?" You're you're actually just kind of settling in for that ride. And you're giving, the keys to your car to your friend and letting them steer. And that's kind of how I mean, it's much more complicated than that, but that's kind of a simplistic way of, stepping back so that their energy can step forward.
Yeah, and I think that it really isn't too complicated. I think we overcomplicate it sometimes. Oh my gosh. And I'm thinking when you said like hand over the keys and let them drive, I'm thinking about all those people who comment on my videos like, what if you get possessed? It's like, oh, that would be great. I would love that.
And there is a case for ritual possession.
Yes.
There are certain spirits, you develop trust with that you can actually allow that to happen. You're still there. You can like, at least for me, I can still sense my energy when I have allowed Lucifer to have kind of control like that. I can still sense that my energy is in the back waiting to, come back, but I will feel like an energetic step forward. And that's something that I feel like anyone can learn with training and allowing themselves to take it as a process and learn. And of course channeling happens for people in many different ways, and it doesn't have to be just possession or partial possession. It can be, hearing them from across the room or feeling like they're sitting next to you talking to you. You know, there's many different ways. But I think if I could say one of the keys for me is being able to relinquish that I have to be in control of the process, that I can kind of say, okay, what do you have to say? And then let them in whatever way they want to share it step forward and share their message. So
Yeah, people don't understand. Like, it requires, it's really hard to do a possession,
yeah,
especially a full possession.
yeah.
It's not like, oops, I'm possessed by a demon.
No,
No.
no.
They have to trust you and you have
Yeah.
to trust them. Like you have to let
Yes.
go of control, like you said. Like that is so true because this is I have to let go of everything, like overthinking and my worries and like all
Yeah.
that you have to let that go. And and I think that's why Lucifer does a lot of religious deprogramming because you cannot really effectively connect with your higher self or deities and demons, spirits, whatever, with that religious programming. And it's funny how it's like designed to stop you from doing all this stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy, but that's awesome. I love that. So you sit in quiet, you ask days in advance, And then when you feel something coming in, like that feeling, like, oh, like, okay, somebody wants to talk. You sit down
Yes.
and quiet and you will listen to frequencies and then let it come out.
Yeah.
Relinquish control, step out, let your friend drive,
Yeah.
let it come through. Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
works really
Yeah.
well. Works really
Yeah.
well for you.
Yeah.
I really love your channelings.
Thank you.
I'm gonna link all of your stuff in the description so people can check it out. And wait, was there anything else I wanted to talk about your Etsy page
Oh,
and ask you about some of your listings.
sure, sure.
Because I was stalking it earlier today. Oh, where's my messages? Oh my goodness. There you are. No, I don't want I want your link tree. There it is. Okay. So you have your Instagram and you have Etsy and you have a YouTube channel and TikTok too. Awesome.
Yes, yes. Yes, I actually just bought a camera so I can finally start recording YouTubes because I
Ooh.
realized one of the things I realized is that TikTok, like I end up doing videos that are so long. I'm like, this would probably be better on TikTok. So, or I mean, on YouTube. So I am trying to make that shift over to YouTube.
Yeah,
That's
and you have a lot more people who are searching for you on YouTube as well. I've been
yeah,
working on making some long form videos because people go on YouTube with intention. People are
yeah.
on TikTok with I need to distract myself.
Entertainment. Yeah, distract,
Yeah.
entertain. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, yes. Tarot channelings, Infernal Vision, awesome. From Hell with Love. I love that. I love that. So a lot of these are channelings.
Yeah, I utilize a lot of channeling in my work for sure.
Black Flame Shamanic Reiki session. Ooh, tell me about that.
Yes. So for me, Reiki, and there are like over 30 types of Reiki. So I hope that people will not put Reiki in a box as it's just letting someone
Wait,
touch
what?
you and relaxing, But there's over 30 types of Reiki. The type of Reiki that I practice is called Antohai, and it's a shamanic lineage Reiki. And basically, it's a Reiki that can kind of work on things energetically. It's not necessarily just about making your knee pain feel better or helping you to sleep better at night. It's really a let's go in and look at where the blocks are and let's remove them. Let's go see where your energy is stuck and help it to start flowing again. And it's Reiki that's done alongside the infernal divine and the keys of onto high Reiki themselves.
Is this something that you learned like through a class or something?
Yes, yeah. The teacher, his name is Axel, and I think if you search like Onto-High Reiki or Onto-High Shamanism or something, that his information comes up. Yeah, it's
Onto
a form of
high.
Reiki he created or that he channeled. So
Oh
yeah,
my gosh. I had no idea that existed. I know I've heard of demonic Reiki and I
right.
knew that there was a lot of practices in it that were similar to what I do, but
Yeah,
I never knew there was an actual like system for it. So that's interesting.
yeah.
The Black Flame Show. Okay, that's cool. So that's what you do with that. From Hell with Love. I love it. That's so catchy.
I liked it as the idea as if they're writing you a letter, as if like it back in the old days before we had all this cool technology and we could message people instantly. The idea of like an infernal writing a person a letter,
So
like
that's what that
yeah.
is.
Yeah, it's kind of like from hell with love. Like you get a postcard in the mail, it's like from Hawaii with love, and getting like having as if they're, sharing their thoughts with you and you're receiving like a letter or a postcard or, you know, kind of like a sentimental but helpful and empowering message is how that's framed.
Oh my gosh. So do you work with someone in particular for this service or do you Or
I
do different
actually
deities come through for different people?
I let people choose. In that session, they
Oh,
get to choose who they want a message from. So,
okay.
yeah.
Have they ever just not showed up and somebody else showed up?
No, no,
No.
I give specific offerings. Like I do actually a little ritual for that particular reading, and I will
Okay.
give the deity that they choose offerings, like specifically for that deity.
Okay.
And yeah, and I even write like I guess you would call it like a mini petition. I will write out like a mini petition asking for a message for that person. So it's very clear who it's for and who it's to. And I haven't had any like weird or strange experiences. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's the deep dive shadow work with Leviathan? How does that work?
So, Leviathan and I worked together for like 6 months on my own shadow work. And at the end of that time together, he gave me a process to take other people through.
Oh,
And the basically the premise is that you are starting out like on the shore, and it's sort of like here's the overview of what you're going through. And then through 6 different layers, each layer uncovers a different part of the shadow that is asking to be integrated. And at the very end, I take them to Leviathan's water temple or his palace or however you want to picture his place of dwelling. And he will deliver to them words of how to move forward directly. So it's kind of like a layered kind of channeling and tarot kind of reading that helps uncover someone's shadow and helps them integrate it.
wow.
Yeah.
And how do you take them on this journey? Are you channeling for them and is
Yes,
it a
yes.
reading?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, I love this stuff. Keys to the Kingdom. Tell me about that.
So, and you did a video recently that I thought was really cool that I think is a tie-in for this, because you talked about how Beelzebub got you into martial arts. And if you
Yes.
guys haven't seen that, then you should go watch Sarah's videos about Beelzebub getting her into martial arts. Um, because basically, Stolas and Amdusias did the same for me in human design and gene keys. They
Oh,
both told me you should study this stuff and then you should help other people with it. You have a natural affinity for these types of things and they work well with the shadow work that you already do. And so I took a deep dive into human design and gene keys, which are like personality and embodiment tools, I would call them, and learning how to like operate in this world using your design and the keys of your soul, so to speak. So, the gene key reading is basically looking at all 3 of your sequences and where the shadow parts of them might be tripping you up, what the higher possibilities are, and how to move from shadow into flow through those 3 sequences. So,
wow.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Thanks.
Oh, moving into chocolate. Let's see. So you look up their human design and you point out all of the key things. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I do
Yeah.
similar stuff in my mastermind. I've been
Awesome.
I've been doing that. And people, I mean, even though that they have looked at their own human design and they've looked at their own astrology for some reason, like as somebody helping them see it, they see things they didn't see before. So they're like, wow, even though they've already looked at that stuff. And it's really incredible. Um, it's really incredible when that happens because I'm just like, I love, activating that in people. Like
Yes.
I love seeing them light up and be like, wow, and light bulbs are going
Yeah.
off. And
Yeah.
you just know that their perception of themselves and the world and energy is never going to be the same. I just love that
Yes.
shit so much.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Oh, one more. I have one more. Oh,
Okay.
you have so many. Oh my
I
God.
know.
That's awesome. Burning false stories and rising. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That reminds me of my Abaddon ritual that I do for people.
Oh,
Have you ever worked with Abaddon?
not yet. He is kind of on the list for hopefully the future, for sure.
Oh,
He's incredibly powerful.
he's so awesome. He's so awesome. A lot of people are scared of him, but he's no, he's amazing. He's amazing. He's nothing like you would think. You'd be like, oh, this guy's cool. He's nothing like they said he was gonna be, but but like Belial, people
Hmm.
are afraid of him too. But
Yeah,
and I do think that he goes a little bit easier on women than he does men. I have noticed that, but he definitely wasn't easy on me. But
yeah.
he wasn't scary either. Oh, Father knows best. So that's a channeling from Satan.
Yes.
Oh, I
And
love it.
it's a play on the patriarchal, like Father Knows Best. There was actually an old television show called Father Knows Best. I think it was probably a little bit before both of our time, but it was like this TV show of like the dad is the boss and blah blah blah. And it's sort of a play on that because Lord Satan wants us to feel empowered. He doesn't want us giving all of our power to him. He wants to empower us to be alive in ourselves. And so it's kind of a play on that sort of patriarchal, you must listen to me. It's no, you must listen to yourself. And that's what that kind of reading is about.
Yes. And there's a certain point where they'll like stop answering your questions because they want you to figure it out yourself. And I had
Yeah.
figured that out. And for a little while, I was just like, oh, they abandoned me. It's like, no, they just want you to
Mhm.
think for yourself, dummy. Like,
Yeah.
I had to go through that whole thing. I was like, oh, they've left me. Because when you start working with them, like at first, they're so involved. But I
Yes.
understand now it's because you're kind of a wreck. At least I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're in there and they're just like, we gotta fix this.
Yeah.
We get you out.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then they kind of fade off. And then they almost disappear because you're like, okay, I'm doing this evocation. I'm gonna ask these questions and da 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 da. And they're kind of like, well, what you go figure it out yourself. We're
Yeah.
not going to answer this for you. We're not going to do all the work for you.
Right. Right. Right.
You need to do it yourself. You need to figure this stuff out. You need to take
Yeah.
initiative in your own life and stop
Yeah.
waiting on us. And so
Yeah.
that whole thing where I was just like, oh, they left me. I don't hear them anymore. That was like a whole thing. But I could always kind of feel them there.
Yeah.
And in the background, they just kind of step back. Like, what's she gonna do? What's she gonna do
Yeah.
now? This is
Yeah.
oh,
Ooh.
but yeah, exactly. But yeah, I went off on a tangent. Anyway, oh yes, I wanted to ask you. So, what would you say is like the hardest thing about being a witch, especially an infernal witch? Like, what is the hardest thing for you?
I think for me, the hardest challenge is knowing that you that there is like a certain amount of like energetic influence that we hold in an environment, and it is like our responsibility it how we are projecting ourselves and how energetically we are showing up both for ourselves and in an environment, and yet we are not in control of other people's reactions to us and other people's like, oh well, you shouldn't do that. I
Mm,
remember a girl telling me, "Oh, well, infernals don't like Reiki. You shouldn't practice it." And
what?
I could have gotten really snippy and angry with her and gone like, "Who the heck do you think you are?" I almost said something else. Sorry. You
Oh, we
know,
can swear on this
okay,
podcast. Nobody
okay.
cares.
I mean, I almost told her like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" But instead, I thought to myself, if I was in her shoes, why would I say that to someone else? And I thought maybe it's challenging her perspective over
Yeah,
what's possible. So
right.
maybe I can just say, well, they show up for my sessions and in my, for my clients, they show up. So, that's my experience. And so I had that control over I had to control my reaction. I couldn't control that person's perception. And I think that's kind of the hardest part is knowing other people are going to perceive you as they're going to perceive you. And we don't have control over that. We only have control over our, our energy output and our reactions or responses.
Oh, you're so
Yeah.
right. That is the
Yeah.
hardest thing. Oh my gosh.
Work in progress.
Yeah. Because people are gonna think, I mean, even when you're not a witch, like people are gonna judge you anyway. You might as well just
Yep.
be a witch.
Yeah.
Like,
Why not?
you have more people judging you, especially as you get farther along in your development and you develop confidence and you trigger a bunch of man babies on the internet,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
Like, it's like it gets hard. So it hits me sometimes when I accidentally see a comment on YouTube that's like really mean, and I'm just like, oh, that's not very nice. I'm
Oh.
just like, that stings a little, but then I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Pff, whatever."
Yeah.
You kind of have to move by it and be like, wow, that person is really miserable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how miserable would I have to be to go and comment nasty things about somebody's looks or like the way they talk or like whatever they do
Yeah.
on YouTube? Like, how miserable am I? Like,
Yeah.
I realize that. But I found that being a witch and having a Christian family is a challenge.
Hmm. Oh, yes. Very much so.
All of like almost all of my family are like deep Christians, and it's like they don't preach to me or anything. Like my mom, she bought me a pentagram once. I mean, like they're supportive,
Yeah.
but if there's still that wall there, like
Yeah.
you're a witch, you're not one of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still a wall there.
Yeah.
And that can be hard.
It
But
can be. Yeah.
and like
For
some
sure.
of your old friends that you knew, like when you were a Christian, will unfriend you.
Disappear.
See
Yes.
that they're still friends with people that you know. They particularly like unfriended you out of
Yeah.
group.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's like, oh, I was like, oh, well, I don't really like them anyway, whatever. You tell yourself that, but it stings a little. You're just like, oh. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely found that that's hard. And then yeah, like people projecting. Because I've never heard anybody talk about this, but when you're a witch, especially an infernal witch who does practice invocations,
Hmm.
even evocations,
Yeah.
especially possession,
Yeah.
is your energy fucks with people.
Yeah.
Be-
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it fucks with people in the sense that they get triggered and they don't even know why.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like they start to feel things inside of themselves and it makes them uncomfortable. And so they lash out at you. Like I don't experience this too much anymore because I kind of, I'm careful with who I spend time with and my energy.
Yeah.
But have you found that to be true, like with you sometimes? Like
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
could be an
And
astrology thing, but
yeah, but well, it's like you said, it's like about being, um, being kind of restrictive about who you spend your energy with,
yeah.
because you know that some people are just not able to, some people they are not going to accept. They it's outside of their realm of possibility, their field of possibility, so to speak,
The
of
realm of possibility. I love
yeah,
that. Okay. I've never heard it
yeah.
said in that way. Okay.
I mean, because I'm thinking about like the energetic aura that each of us carries, and some people's energetic aura cannot handle the idea that somebody is working with darker spirits in order to become more self-actualized, because their self-actualization is, well, the church approves of me, or my family approves of me, or this one spirit in the sky who is the supreme being approves of me. So the idea that somebody can be self-actualizing, in this other way is just outside their realm of possibility, and I do think that is what some of why they get triggered. I think maybe there's something there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. Um, yeah, it sounds like a them problem, really.
Yeah.
And it's not like I go, to my
No.
husband's family's house and talk about working with and invoking demons. I don't do that.
No.
They're,
No.
I mean, I don't do stuff like that because I know it's gonna, they're gonna freak out.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's your energy. Like, it's just the way it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
But But then it also makes it so it weeds out people who are not good for you as well. So there's like a good side and a bad side to it.
Yeah.
Hmm. What would
Yeah.
you say is like the best part of being a witch?
I think the best part of being a witch is knowing that you are not helpless, knowing that there are resources available, both externally from deities and angels, demons, fae, whomever pantheon a person wants to work with, but also internally. Because once you become a witch, like you start to learn your own power and the resources you that maybe you're rediscovering them, right? They've been there all along, but you haven't had access to them through religious suppression or from fear or whatever the case may be. And you're kind of reawakening and becoming the version of you that you were meant to be, you know, in that process, I think. Yeah.
Yes, it really is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to give away your power to something else and just be like, oh, it's in their hands.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I never liked that. But yeah, that is true. That's awesome. Um, I think that's all the questions I had for you.
So thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Yes, yes, me too. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been very fun. Maybe we can do it again.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yes, I plan on doing this like at least once a month. That's my that's
Awesome.
my promise to myself. So
You got
I'll
this.
I know. Do any of you guys in the chat have any questions for Elizabeth? I am going to put her information down in the description and her Etsy and her Instagram if you guys want to follow. She has amazing channeling. She has great information about the spirits and obviously some incredible services to offer. So check her out. All right. Thank you so much, Elizabeth,
Thank
and
you.
I'll see you on Instagram.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.